I would like to apologize for calling you a kofar the last time we spoke. My Rabbi explained to me that it's not your fault. You are unfortunately being misled by a theology that promotes scientists' wisdom over that of our holy sages. He also said that it was important for me to tell you this before Chanukah, the festival during which we celebrate the victory of the Aseka Isoraseka in their rejection of the Hellenistic philosophies and science.
Well said, and I accept your apology, but you still didn't answer my questions. Did you discuss them with your Rebbe?
In fact I did, and he explained a lot that I did not know about. First of all, regarding all those questions from the Talmud that you had, he told me that they and many others are famous old questions that are clearly addressed by many Sephorim in the past, especially the Maharhal Sefer, Bar Hagala. And regarding the sages' knowledge of science, my Rebbe informed me that our Mesra is based on the majority of widely accepted Rishonim who believed that our holy sages had a perfect knowledge of science and we must accept their words as the ultimate truth. Those Rishonim include the Rambam, who in Hilchos Trifus makes it very clear that even if doctors are to contradict the statements of our sages regarding the nature of an animal's wounds, we ignore them and stand by everything our sages say. In fact, the Kesef Misnad on that Rambam refers us to Tshuva 98 of the Rashba, where the Rashba has some harsh words for those that dare to doubt the validity of our sages' understanding in these matters. Shall I continue the list?
I find it hard to believe that they will disagree with all that I read in Rabbi Slifkin's book.
Well, believe it or not, there are many occasions where the Tosafos will point out that nature has changed since the time the Talmud was written. The Tosafos, the Tur and Shulchan Aruch then go on to decide matters of halakha, even regarding biblical prohibitions, based upon that assumption that nature has changed. If they can simply say that the sages were occasionally mistaken in their statements about the natural world, why didn't they just say so? What right do they have to make up this new idea that some change happened? Clearly the Tosafos, the Tur and the Shulchan Aruch do not believe that to be an option.
That sounds like solid proof. Are you telling me then that our holy sages were experts in science?
Not only am I telling you that, in fact those are the exact words of the Rashba, one of the greatest Rishonim, in his Sefer Mismir's Habayis, where he writes that we rely on our sages who are experts on nature and we don't say this is possible and that isn't.
Wow, you really explained your position nicely. However, I still don't understand why we can't have these types of dialogues without all the harsh words, and why do the Gedolim have to put Rabbi Slifkin's book in Karam? Why can't there just be two opinions like so many other issues in Judaism?
The only reason why truly observant Jews still exist after so many years of exile and oppression is because of those Jews who held fast to the words of the Torah and teachings of our sages. Our Gedolim feel that, as soon as we give credence to the notion that one can doubt the words of our sages, even if it's just regarding science, one thing can lead to another, and before you know it people will start doubting their words in areas of halakha and God forbid the words of the Torah itself.
That sounds to me like a scare tactic. Do you really believe that, because someone starts saying that our sages made mistakes in science, he will end up denying the words of the Torah?
Well, I have some news for you. Did you know that Slifkin has since said that the Mabul never happened?
What? I don't believe you. That is real kafara, you just made that up.
I did not. He actually wrote that kafira on a blog a few years ago. He posted an audio clip of him debating that opinion with Rabbi Nadal on his website and reinforced that position in a conversation he had with Rabbi David Orlovsky. If you don't believe me, why don't you listen to the share that Rabbi Orlovsky gave on this topic in which he quotes him directly?
I certainly will. This just doesn't make any sense to me.
I have another shocker. Did you know that Slifkin said that humans come from monkeys?
Now you're really pulling my leg. The Torah clearly says that Adam was created from the earth of the ground. No semi-observant Jew would have the audacity to be kofar in that.
You apparently did not read his latest book where he clearly promotes human evolution. By the way, do you know that Slifkin is not a scientist?
No, I did not know that. I actually thought that the reason why he had the guts to disagree with our holy sages was the fact that he had mastered science.
Not only is he not a scientist, but many actual scientists disagree with the information found in his books. Did you know that a renowned scientist in Talmud Chacham named Rabbi Dr. Chaim Presby had arranged a debate with Slifkin and Slifkin did not show up?
No, I did not know that. This is all making me sick. I used to think that Slifkin was such a great rabbi. How is it possible that things turned out this way?
As I told you, the Gedolim say that one thing leads to another. It starts with doubting our sages and ends up with kafir and the Torah itself.
Wow. I really appreciate that you explained all this to me. Now I can understand how important it was for the Maccabees to fight so hard to make sure the Hellenistic philosophies don't spread to Klal Yisrael.
It was my pleasure. Have a happy and meaningful Hanukkah.